the current investment climate, how are the wealthy people looking at their risk appetite? Where are they putting their money?
Well, before I say anything else, diversification is key. So always asset class diversification, always global diversification. So putting their wealth carefully. But given where the economy is and given where rates are, right now everybody is putting their money to work. And we highly suggesting to our clients, please put your money to work. So we're tactically underweight cash and we're overweight global bonds and global equities, and for the ultra high net worth and the high net worth, we're really talking about alternatives as well. But in global bonds, and as we look across fixed income, we're looking to stretch out duration, particularly at quality, so that you're really taking advantage of those yields at the moment and locking them in for the medium term, and that's really important. As we look at global equities, though, it's a slightly different story, and we're quite selective there. So as we look at, given we're sitting in Hong Kong right now, as we look at ASEAN equities first, we're overweight for different reasons, for Korea, India, Indonesia and Japan, and different reasons provides a certain sort of diversification. But we're actually underweight China at the moment. The overhang of the real estate, going into consumer confidence, business confidence. But we're watching it very, very carefully though, because we're starting to see net inflows, we're starting to see those policies coming through, starting to see a little bit of an uptick on manufacturing. So that's a short term, and we're watching for the long term in China. But as we look at the Western economies, very strong in the US. We've seen some surprising resilience. We're looking at the reindustrialization of the US,
right.
Whether it's healthcare innovation or tech. Obviously, a lot of talk about AI at the moment, particularly from all of our clients, particularly the ultra high net worth as well. But really looking at the changing shape and the reshoring in the US.
Annabel, you talked about how you're starting to see some improvement in China. Do you see a turnaround in China in 2024?
Probably not in 2024, but we're watching really closely in the medium term and the long term. And obviously we're underneath the macro, there's some really interesting selective plays. So always looking for those pockets of opportunity.
In terms of your positioning in the world, HSBC lost its top spot in the wealth space when we had, UBS buying Credit Suisse. Are you keen to regain your top spot? What are you doing about it?
We're very keen. We're very keen to be the leading wealth manager across Asia, obviously, and for the private bank, we're looking at being the leading international private bank for Asians, international clients, and obviously for entrepreneurs, given our positioning. So very keen. As we look at Asia in particular, we're investing across the space. So let's start with China, given we talked about that already. As you would know, we just acquired the Citi's Chinese, of mainland Chinese wealth business, and we're incorporating that into our personal banking and our private banking business. We're very strong already with our joint venture there in asset management. We have the life business. We actually have 1,400 mobile insurance people there, and first one ever, we've also got a fund license so they can distribute insurance and funds, and we're backed by a strong retail bank and a strong business bank. So,
are you looking at more deals to come? We've seen a lot of bolt-on acquisitions. Are you looking for more?
We never comment on acquisitions, but we are extremely ambitious in Asia. And that's what we've done in China. Obviously, we've acquired. We've also acquired in India, though. So we've acquired L&T in India in asset management. We just launched a private bank there as well last year. And we try to put our money where our mouth is.
Speaking of putting your money where your mouth is, looking at expansion, are you looking to hire more? Do you have, capital headroom to do it?
So when I look at India, we say it's the investment destination of the decade, and we've just launched a private bank and we're adding people. So as we look, we really are following up those things. So India, we're also looking at more insurance and how we distribute insurance in India. That's an area of emphasis. So wealth, insurance, asset management, and trust, being a comprehensive wealth management player, again, always backed up by the balance sheet and the strength of the retail and the business bank in India as well. But we should talk about around the region as well. So we've also launched onshore in Thailand. We've launched wealth in the Philippines. We're really looking at a comprehensive plan for Asia.
But in terms of the biggest opportunities, would that be what? Hong Kong, UAE, Singapore possibly? Can you name a market that you're really excited about?
We're always excited about Hong Kong, especially when we're sitting here, but we are always excited in Hong Kong. It's one of our home markets, but we are expanding through ASEAN. So Singapore, China, India, all big focuses for us.
But give us a sense of the kind of growth you're anticipating.
So as we look at the market, we're looking to considerably outpace the market growth in each of those regions. And I should have actually mentioned that you're right, the Middle East. So funny story, I was sitting last night with a client, and big Asian client, but all of the conversation was around the Middle East. We look after their children who are at school in the States. They're going to college there, but they're looking at investing both for their business and for their financial wealth in the Middle East. And I think that speaks to what you're asking, which is that repolarization, that shift, it's from Asia into the Middle East and back and forth. We're seeing it in trade and we're seeing it in investment.
Before we let you go, Annabel, give us a sense of the kind of wealthy customers you're attracting right now. Are they younger? Are they wealthier? Just give us a profile of who you're attracting.
I think wealth is rising everywhere. There's a huge rise in family offices, particularly in Asia, in Hong Kong, in Singapore. That's a big part of our business. But the young are a big part of our business too. I think digital is attracting them, and we're doing some cool things. So we just did gold tokenization in Hong Kong. And I think the young are really interested in those digital experiences and those interesting asset classes that we're adding.
Annabel, good to have you with us.